Hey everybody, it's Reborn8 back with another review, this time of the Steelseries Apex gaming keyboard. When it comes down to customization, I would say this keyboard is one of the top ones out there. One of the things that really sets this keyboard apart from the other keyboards is the customization of color it can use when it comes to making the keyboard look the way you want it to look. It has a total of 4 different layers. It has 5 active zones of coloring that you can change, giving you a total of 16.8 million different color combinations that you could actually use on it, which is astronomical, really, once you think about that. But it's also a full-size keyboard that gives you all the buttons you could imagine with macro ability, a total of 88 macros you can do in this keyboard with 22 per layer, and it has a total of 4 layers. The keyboard looks different too. This review is going to be a little bit different than some of my others. I'm not just going to do an unboxing. Anybody can do an unboxing. I'm going to give you some high definition pictures. I'm going to go over what you're seeing in those pictures, some of the functionality of the keyboard, and I'm going to go over a nice in-depth review of the engine of this keyboard that you would use to customize it on your computer. So without further ado, let's get to the review. So as I usually do, I'm going to unbox this in a very quick manner here. I myself find it very annoying when somebody's doing a review and the only thing they're doing is opening up a box, and at the end of their review they've opened up the box and they bring out the product, then the review's over. So I just like to speed us up a little bit and get on with their real review. Okay, here we have the keyboard macro keys over there to the left. I'm going to pan it back and forth here so you can see. Like I said, this is a full-size keyboard, so no stone is left unturned, I guess you could say. It has everything available. The back side of it, these little grippy feet back here, there's actually another set that allows you to raise it up more. At first I thought you couldn't do that until I opened up the box and looked inside, and there was a little bag that had actually larger little feet. These are rubber feet here. I use a glass desk, so this sits really nicely on my desk, depending on what type of surface you have. Very slim design. Construction feels really good. As you can see, it's not going to move around that much down there, especially on a glass surface. It has a large space bar thing. I like that because you hit the space bar a lot in gaming, so it gives you a shorter, wider, thicker space bar right there for you to use. Showing more of it, as you can see on the top part there, these are the macro keys. These are actually raised. They're elevated above higher above the other keys. You'll get some shots to see how elevated they are, but they feel good with the construction. Easy to press down on. Showing a little bit of a front kind of a. It's really thin. It's very blade-like thin. I'm going to show you a little side view here, so you can see that. You see that profile there? It's a thin keyboard. I mean, it has a very low profile, which is nice if you don't like that real bulky type of keyboard feel or look. And it kind of has that, I would almost say, like a stealth look to it in a way, with its matte black finish. And the shiny parts on the keyboard do seem to be fingerprint resistant as well. So, and it does have that area where your palm can rest on as well. So, when gaming, this here is the braided cord. It's a very long braided cord. And in the back, this is kind of interesting. It actually has 2 USB ports in the back here. Usually most keyboards just have 1. This one actually has 2, which is nice if you need to plug in any peripherals at all. So it gives you that choice right there on the keyboard itself. And it's a fairly light keyboard too. It's not too heavy, but it feels solidly built. Okay, now I'm going to go over the engine for the Steelseries Apex gaming keyboard. Right when you open it up, you have these buttons up here. The far left one is called buttons, appropriately named. This is where you're actually going to set up your macros. As you can see, as I go over these here are macros here, as well as these, and these are actually raised on the keyboard. You'll see that in some of the pictures I'm going to show you with some audio commentary to them. So pretty much what you do, you just click here, down here, it pops up, says I'm on layer 1. The layer 1 deals with this up here. You have 4 different layers here, and with these layers, this gives you a total of 22 macros per layer. So you have a total of 84 different macro combinations by switching the layers, which is pretty extensive for macro use if you need to use that many by using the macros here and there. So like I said, any one of these you can just click, kind of assign what it's going to actually do, and then of course you have your macros up here that you can adjust. This scale thing here, right now it's scale on. Pretty much that means that the whole keyboard is on your display here. If you take that scale to off, just gives you a larger view of the keyboard, but you do have to scroll to see everything, scroll up and down. So I usually like to keep it on the scale on so I can see everything all at once. Next we're going to go to this really cool feature of this keyboard. This is the colors. Now you have a total of 5 different active zone lightings areas. As you hover over, this is one zone here. This is another zone, second zone, third zone, fourth zone, and the 5th zone. Actually gives lighting on the side of the keyboard itself, which is pretty cool. Now you can actually adjust the overall, the intensity of that lighting, and you can go down here to show individual zone intensity. You can do actually adjust the individual intensity of each zone, which is pretty customizable. Now, right now I'm on this layer here. I just have to click those layer buttons I was showing you before. That's on the second layer. You see that lights up. Go down here. It's on the 4th layer, and then the 3rd layer. So going back up here to the first layer I'm on. Now to change the color here, the only thing you do is just click on that zone. You click on that zone. You see this color palette comes up. Really, in all, you have a total of 16.8 million colors you could choose from. So you can do with one of these presets right here, basic colors, or you can really fine tune a color for a certain zone. So right now the keyboard right there is green. If I wanted to change that to, say, blue, click there, okay, boom. That is now blue there in the keyboard. And in the pictures that will follow, you'll see how the keyboard lights up with these different colors. And to activate it, you just have to go down here to save, and there you go. It saves that active layer for that key color, the set for that you made for those keys or those active layers there. So it's pretty extensive when it goes through. Right now the layer 2 is set for all blue. If I wanted to change that, just click on that blue. Say I wanted a red keyboard there instead. Click that red, okay, boom, change that keyboard. If I want the sides here, say to be yellow, click there. Now the sides are yellow there. And on the keyboard, it's right away this change that you see. It's not very much of a pause. Once you click save here, it's saved. You go to that active layer with those L1 through L4 keys, and it's going to pop up with that lighting for those layers. So it's pretty customizable, definitely, with the colors. The next one here is the settings. This where you can adjust your polling rate from a low 125 hertz all the way up to a 1000 hertz. And then you can change your keyboard layout if you're a different country or whatever. I'm in the US, so keep it there. Properties here, say you want a certain profile to activate when you start a certain game, you can set that all up here. Statistics, this is kind of cool here. It's kind of a different thing. You can actually record when in game your keystrokes, and then what you do is pretty much you just start this timer. I'm going to click some keys, some WASD keys. Say I was playing a game and just hitting different keys here, just tapping different keys, and as you can see the timer down there, it's recording the seconds. So this would be in the background in a game. You wouldn't see this going on. When the game is done with, you just go back here to the engine, click stop down here, and it's telling me what keys I actually hit. the intensity of how many times I hit those keys. So you can see here I was hitting the W key 14 times in that time frame of 19 seconds. So it's something to monitor if you want to monitor what keys you're hitting the most in a game or any other application to say. You can save different profiles, custom profiles, default profile, but all in all, you're looking at a keyboard here that's pretty customizable to the way you play or just regular work. If you're not even playing games, you can set it up just, you can get rid of all the colors and just have it a straight keyboard without all the bling, with all the lights and everything else. But pretty much that's it for the engine. Like I said, very easy to use, very intuitive, with the buttons, your colors, your settings, your properties, and your statistics over here. And now we'll go on into some pictures, which I'll go over what you're actually seeing in those pictures. This here is just some close-ups of the braided cable, so you can just get a view of it. Braided cables are pretty popular nowadays to prevent that twisting. Nothing like having a cable that in time just gets all twisted up and it just becomes a mess that you can't even deal with and you can't even untwist. So with the braided cable, you don't have to worry about that. This here is just some different shots that I took of the keyboard, just to give you kind of a close-ups of what the keyboard actually looks like. This is shots without illumination. Later on I'll show you shots with illumination. There's the all famous WASD keys that we all know about. This is that side shot of it. See that kind of that stealth look to it, and this all illuminates. This is great. This is the view here of the back with those two USB ports. The next shot here, just another different angle, just so you can see the construction, the makeup of the keyboard itself. But it's very smooth construction on the keyboard, I could say. Right here, this is kind of nice. You do have dedicated up and down volume keys, so you don't have to do that stuff where you are holding one key and pressing the other key for volume. It actually has a certain, the right side of it actually gives you the multimedia functions with their own set keys, so you don't have to do any of that combination to play media, which can be rather annoying after a while. Alright, before we get into the engine, we're going to go over some shots with illumination on. This is what I would say is almost the holy grail of this keyboard, where it really shines and outperforms any other keyboard that I know of on the market with its ability of colors. So let's look at some of the shots with different types of illumination on. This here's a side shot showing a color of blue on the side panel of the keyboard. This is another angle of it here. This is all customizable too, as you will see. Here, just a shot of the keyboard. It's kind of a low light, not totally dark, but you'll see some dark ones later. There's the old famous WASD keys we all know about. And here's showing that the colors really pop. You can really tell the difference between the colors. They're not dim at all. You can make them dim if you want. Another profile view here, just showing just some different angles of the keyboard itself. Here's with the red side, see that red is bright. It really pops out, and this is darker as well here. This is where I changed it to green instead. So you can see the colors are very bright on this keyboard. It's kind of a purple, I think it was like a purplish blue color I set it to here. And this is a yellow color. Like I said, it has 5 different zones which you can customize. There's that large space bar I was telling you about, kind of a close-up of it itself. This is the side of the keyboard as well, showing those multimedia. This is here in my little nerd room, as my wife calls it, but you can see that keyboard really lights up right there. Another shot of it there in pure, pretty much darkness there. So this keyboard is very customizable. Any look that you want to have it with this color combinations, you can set those colors to whatever your heart's desire is, pretty much, and be comfortable with that. Well, that pretty much wraps up this review. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked the format of it. If you have any questions, just comment below. And to let you know, I'm going to be having a keyboard giveaway. I have about 3 keyboards that I'm going to be giving away. These are nice keyboards, have hardly been used, and they're modern keyboards. They're not like 80s or 90s keyboards. These are keyboards that have been out within the last year or so. So go to that Facebook page. There's not much content on there right now, but I do have a post I posted September 6th about my first PC, and I like to get some replies on your experience with your first PC and your adventure into PC gaming, into PC building if you build your own systems. So like this video, like Aerolatha Films, and like Extreme PC Game Systems on Facebook. Love you guys. Hope you guys are gaming, having a good time, and as always, game on.